What is up, guys? Today I'm going to be reviewing for you the Pwnage Ultra Custom Ergo Wired Edition. For me, this mouse is 60 bucks on the Pwnage website. I got it for $50 because I bought one of the Pwnage Lucky Holiday boxes for 4th of July. I have an unboxing video of that on my channel, so you can see me pulling this mouse out of there and getting reasonably excited because thank God I got a mouse because I could have ended up with a bunch of USB-C cables. Now, that aside, if you've seen any of my other mouse reviews, I usually start with the aesthetics of the mouse. Um, so for me, aesthetically, I think this is a very nice design. Especially if you swap out the panels for like a different color. The black and white's really clean. Of course, it starts out all black because they do give you both colors of panels. Because this is the black mouse, so it came with extra white panels. Whereas if you buy a white mouse, it'll come with extra black panels. So to me, this kind of very slick, like minimalistic design bodes really well for the mouse. In that it doesn't look too gamery, which you've probably heard me say that before. I'm not a huge fan of super gamery looking things. I like it to look like it is a gaming peripheral. I want it to have a little bit of RGB or something like that, but I don't want it to look gamery, kind of childish or anything like that. To me, this looks like if you took an office mouse and you put some RGB on it and added side buttons, because that to me that's how this looks. This looks, if the RGB off, it looks like it could be an office mouse. But that little bit of lighting kind of makes it almost look like a futuristic office mouse, a little bit more. It shows it as a gamer peripheral. It is just the perfect blend of form and function, in my opinion, as far as the actual aesthetic of the mouse overall. And then that's not even getting to, the important part, the ultra custom part, if you will. The fact that you can remove the shell and change the triggers. I'm not going to change the triggers because it's a pain to take them out and put them back on because I'll be spam clicking and stuff. It's not pain. It's really simple, but I'll be clicking all over the place and I don't want to be doing that. Anyways, you can switch the shells. So I could switch this to black. I could switch this to the honeycomb or the black honeycomb. I can change how the mouse looks. And of course, you can buy all of the separate colored shells off of the Pwnage website for $12 each. If you want to change your color, the color of your mouse. Of course, this is a great feature. It's pretty cool. It's completely unnecessary, of course. But I do like that they include the separate color because when I got the black mouse, I was a little disappointed. I was like, oh, I kind of wish I had a white mouse. But then I was like, oh, wait, it comes with the white shell. So now this is a white mouse. So I think that customizable ability to fit like your setup. I just smacked my desk and moved the whole camera. Anyway, the ability to have it match your setup with whatever color scheme you're going is of course it's a pretty cool feature for this mouse. Now the only complaints I have aesthetically. Well, okay. First of all, I think the honeycomb looks fine. I did not enjoy using the honeycomb, and that is not because I don't like the gamery aesthetic, even though I did prefer the way that the smooth one looks. My problem is the RGB. And so the RGB is completely customizable on the software. The actual effects are great. The colors are good, except for one problem, and that is it doesn't show up very well over camera, but I'll try and show you. This is purple. This is purple. And this Pwnage Ultra Custom logo is pink. It doesn't show up as well over the camera, but while these parts are pure purple, this is straight up pink. And it frustrates me so bad because that's how it was with every color. If you wanted to make these white, this would have a weird pinkish tint to it. If you want to make these blue, this will somehow, for some reason, be a lighter blue. It just will not match. The Pwnage Cut logo will not match. So when I used the honeycomb shell, it was really annoying whenever I would take my hand off and see that the Pwnage logo was the wrong color. Of course, this was solved for me by simply not using the honeycomb shell, and then I don't have to look at it. Actually, I'm going to leave this off for now because there's one more thing I want to address, and that is weight, actually. So after, aesthetically aside, great looking mouse. That's the overall review of what I just rambled about for aesthetics, except for this RGB is wrong. The Pwnage logo will not match, and I don't know if that's just my copy or if that's a standard thing across all of the Pwnage mice, and if that's a standard thing, please fix it. It's really annoying. Now, the reason I leave the shell off is because there's something I want to talk about regarding weight, and that doesn't show up as well over that camera, so you know what? Let's switch cameras. Right here, you'll see this little box, and that is a spot for weights that are included in order to adjust the weight of the mouse. Now, the weight of the mouse is also adjustable by depending on which one of the shells you use. However, these really only affect 2 grams. So if you care about your 2 grams that much, then I guess you can use the honeycomb shell, even though in my opinion it was a little bit less comfortable. And then there was, of course, the logo RGB problem, so I preferred the smooth shell. But the weights that it comes with, as far as actually making the mouse heavier, they did make the mouse heavier, obviously, because they're weights, and that's what they're supposed to do. I'm struggling with this. There we go. They're weights, and that's what they're supposed to do. But they kind of made the mouse feel more solid, I guess is the word I'm looking for. It made it feel like the construction was a little bit more solid. Not that the construction feels like, weak or anything. There's no creaking or anything, despite the fact that you can remove parts of the shell and the triggers. It's a remarkably solid build, but having that weight in there gave it a little bit more heft and made it feel a little bit more solid. So starting out with, of course, if you have the honeycomb shell on here, this mouse is around 58 grams. If you have the heavier shell on top, or not heavier, but the non-honeycomb shell on top, it's 60 grams. And with the weights, weights and this shell top, it goes all the way up to 84 grams, which still isn't a super heavy mouse. So if you're more into heavier mice, you might want to use those weights. And you can remove the individual weights if you feel like it, but that might screw up your weight balancing if you do it incorrectly. However, this customizable weight, even though it's not something that's really a huge deal for most people, is another feature that, you can add on to this mouse. So, of course, customizable shape and customizable weight. And overall, I think a very clean, minimalistic aesthetic. Now, let's moving on to performance here. So this is a wired mouse, obviously. You can see the wire. And, I'm not a huge fan of wired mice, but that's purely for aesthetics reasons. I don't really, feel like there's a huge difference. People are like, oh, there's no wire. It's so much faster. No wire drag. I don't know. You clip your mouse wire to your monitor. Boom, instant wire mouse bungee. You don't have any drag. You don't have any of those problems. So that solves it. It's not, a revolutionary thing if it doesn't have a wire. I would prefer it to not have a wire just because I think it looks better. Anyways, complete digression. Wired mouse. It's fine. It's wired. I mean, what can you say? It's a $60 mouse. You're not going to really normally expect wireless mice unless, of course, you are buying a deluxe M800, which is wireless at $45. So actual performance-wise, this uses the same sensor as the deluxe M800, actually, the 3335 sensor. I didn't have any sort of tracking problem. Oh, actually, I'm incorrect there. Sorry. It is a 3389 sensor. Sorry. I don't know what made me say that. Anyways, still, I had no problems with the sensor tracking. As far as I played in some Valorant, some Rainbow Six, Crunker, and some Roblox shooters, and I had no problem aiming, tracking, all of that. It was great. So sensor gets a pass from me. The feet are very good. These are stock feet. I did not change them. I'd say they're a little bit better even than the Razer Viper Ultimate stock feet. And of course, they're better than, these things suck. The stock feet on the M800, or of course the stock feet on my G205 over here, which is only here because I needed a wired mouse baseline. And this was the first wired mouse and the only other wired mouse that I've mained for a long time. So these stock feet, I think, are great. I think they're better than the Viper Ultimate stock feet. They glide really well, especially on any sort of decent mouse pad. So the stock feet they get a pass from me. Now the actual shape, the ergonomic shape. I am not used to an ergonomic shape because the only other mouse I've used are Viper Ultimate, the G205, which is not an ergo shape, and last but not least, the Deluxe M800, which is also not an ergo shape. All of these are more of a symmetrical mouse shape. So holding an ergo mouse was kind of an immediate difference for me because your hand kind of slopes off to the side instead of being flat on your table or flat like this. Hold on, it's even low. See, it's low. Instead of being flat, it kind of is sloped to the side. So, of course, I didn't really have any problems with that. It felt very comfortable. I mean, that's the point of an ergonomic mouse. It felt really comfortable. It felt great to aim with. I felt like I was, honestly, it was really pleasant using this mouse. The feel was good. My aim was good. I almost felt like I was able to be a little bit more steady with this ergonomic mouse because I was able to stop a little better because like my pinky's there. I don't know how to explain that necessarily, but for like flicks, it's like I could stop faster than with a symmetrical mouse where I have like no contact with like my finger being able to touch the mouse pad or anything like that. Now that could be unique to my experience in my grip. Like if you're like what fingertip gripping this, that's not gonna really be a thing for you. Um, or even like I don't think you want to claw grip this mouse, but if you were claw gripping this mouse, I don't think it'd be as much of a thing. But for me, palm gripping it like that, um, it felt really really comfortable. It felt it kind of just felt natural, except that the mouse is a little high for me. I'm okay with the shape as far as the slope and all that, but it's really high. Like just look at how much lower my hand is with either the Viper Ultimates or the Deluxe M800. This mouse slope is really high, kind of like an almost an egg shape, and I can't give you a solid verdict on it, but I don't think I like it. The high, it just felt, that felt a little odd. It felt like I was pushing my wrist up, because it's so high. If this shape was a little bit lower, it would just be a lot more comfortable. And I did have like a little bit of like not wrist pain, but like my wrist had to adjust to this position instead of being like flat. And once my wrist adjusted to it, it was fine. The only thing I didn't like was just how high the mouse was. So, overall, that's basically it as far as performance and aesthetics. And then let's go, of course, over features. Aside from adjustable weight, adjustable, colors for your aesthetic. Of course, it has adjustable RGB in the software. But that is not the only thing you can adjust in the software. It is highly, highly customizable as far as the actual function of your mouse. So we have, of course, mouse sensitivity in there. That's normal. The scrolling speed, normal. But the double click speed, so how fast you have to, click for it to become a double click. And then perhaps, of course, adjustable liftoff distance, but most important for any of you who want to do Minecraft PvP or anything of the like is the debounce time. You can lower the debounce time on this mouse, so you can make it forcibly double click. You can drag click it if you so desire. And so if you're looking to do some sort of, drag clicking, something where drag clicking or double clicking like that is necessary, that could make this a good pickup for you. I am not good at drag clicking, and I was still able to get up to around 16 CPS, having learned how to drag click that day. So if you're good at drag clicking, you probably will be able to get up to 18 or 20 CPS drag clicking this mouse. Keep in mind, don't take my word for that. I'm just saying I was able to do it as like a noob at drag clicking and able to get up to around 16 CPS. So I think someone better at drag clicking can get higher than that. So adjustable liftoff distance and adjustable debounce time do make this a good pickup for something where those two features are important. Like I said, the only real thing that I can think of off the top of my head is Minecraft PvP. So that is something that I thought was notable, and I left out a feature that I just now remembered, and that is that they give you these spacers to put under the mouse clicks to adjust the post travel if you should so desire. I didn't have any problem with the post travel on my mouse, so I did not use them, so I can't speak to how effective they are. But that is an option if you're like, oh, this has too much post travel, and you just put these little spacers underneath this, and it'll stop your post travel. Your mouse will stop faster. So that's essentially everything about the mouse. So it's down to my verdict. I think for $60, I would say that this is a solid mouse. I think it fulfills everything that it needs to do at that price point and a little bit more. Of course, obviously, the customizability is a huge factor. The great stock feet make it, just a good mouse at this price point. And the customizable weights, customizable LOD, customizable debounce. It just seems like it has every single box checked off to make me say that this is a good pickup at this price point. As far as is it like a, it's amazing. Oh my God, wow, you need to get this mouse. I mean, no. It's a mouse at the end of the day. And I know that probably sounds like, oh, well, of course it's a mouse. It's a mouse. Well, I mean, it doesn't have anything that makes it a super incredible pickup. It has many things that make it unique. Most notably, of course, the fact that you can change the shell and the trigger click. So if that is something that is really important to you, if you really want a cohesive aesthetic to your set up, then that will put this at a higher value for you. If you want to play Minecraft and drag click in some PvP, then that will put this at a higher value for you. In the end, these kinds of things are entirely subjective as far as how value goes. However, I am here to provide you with a rundown of the features, and if I think that this is a good pickup, and I think that this is a good pickup for its price point, it fulfills every single thing that it needs to do, and for me, it fulfills them pretty well. So, if you liked my review, if you want me to be able to do more of these, please leave a like and subscribe. I am doing my best to put out as many reviews of products as I can. Unfortunately, that is very reliant on when I get my paycheck and when I can get in products to review. So please support my channel if you can with any sort of likes and subscribing. It really does do me a huge favor. If you think I'm way off the mark on this mouse, or you would like to offer your own thoughts on it, please do so in the comment section. I'm always active in my comment sections looking around. So that is it for me today, and I will see you all next time. Peace.